from you, Mr. Mayor. And so I would just challenge you right now, Mr. Mayor, as one of the citizens of the city, to walk over there and go and talk to Junebug's sister and let her know and assure her that, in fact, her brother and she herself and the family is going to finally receive some justice in this city. And we can talk about one of the things that you talked about.
If you'll let me respond.
Okay, go ahead.
If you'll go ask Ms. Davis, I think she'll tell you. I have already come to talk.
Well, there's more to be said than just that. How is this going to affect us economically when the world is now seeing that Macon has a completely crazy police force stealing from people?
You, sir, are rushing to judgment. Let the Georgia Bureau of Investigation complete its investigation, please.
Mayor, the problem is we're not talking about the GBI's investigating the shooting. Why wasn't this guy fired when he had 27 complaints and 8 to 10 reprimands? He should have never driven into that Kroger parking lot and shot the guy.
None of us know all of the facts.
You know this. You are the chief executive officer of the MPD.
Know all of the facts and circumstances.
You know this fact, sir.
We will not be rushed to judgment.
No, but you're not answering the question. Did you ever have Mr. Sutton's file on your desk before December 21st?
I have not.
And why not? As the head of the police department, the mayor, why not? Why aren't you doing this? This is the hard-edged mayor we want. You should from the get-go when you took office, Mayor, you should have lined up your police force in front of you, right out there in front of everybody. A weekly thing. You should have lined them up there. Parade rest, right in front of you. And you should have laid down the law. You should have said, as mayor of this city, I'm not taking any sort of BS or corruption. The minute we see it, you're out the door. That's all you had to do from the get-go.
Amen.
You should line them up, and you should show the city we should be allowed to watch you every morning if we want to, watch you address your troops. Okay? You should have done that from the get-go. If you had checked the files and records of every one of your police officers on a weekly basis, even every 2 weeks, you would have found these ones that are thieves, bribing people,
Murderer.
running over people, wrecking their car 4 times. Who keeps a police officer on the force that drives recklessly? I mean, who keeps that guy on the force?
You are more than entitled to your opinion, sir.
It's true. It's fact.
As mayor of Macon, I rely on department heads. I don't know how.
And they have to go too, because why isn't Burns doing it? Why isn't Carswell doing it?
I do not know how to fight fire. Therefore, I do not ask the fire chief to put all of the files of all of his fire people on my desk. I rely on the
You should.
Yeah,
You should.
That's exactly right.
You should keep track of your officers. They represent not only the city but you.
Yes. As do you.
And as he said, you have the film festival coming up. You have Cherry Blossom coming up. You got Jerry Seinfeld here. You got Elton John here. You got Black History Month coming up. And you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around talking about something that really doesn't matter in the scheme of life.
And it affects
business. Yeah, obviously you and I have a difference of opinion, sir, and I'd be more than.
It affects the business climate in the city, no matter what.
Right.
Especially when
This gets on the news. They see there's Macon, Georgia, who has a podunk police department that doesn't know what they're doing, and it's represented by you.
I think you need to be more respectful of the police department.
They haven't shown me respect. They have not shown me respect. You need to tell your officers to show respect to the people of this city. And Clayton Sutton obviously showed no respect by pulling into Kroger after someone in your department lied about a warrant being issued, and we had to find out that was not the case. Okay?
He was shot 3
Okay, I
times
don't
in
see
the
a
chest.
warrant.
3 times in the chest. What was the Macon Police Department's finding?
What would you do if it was your brother?
What was the
What
Macon
is
Police
your
Department's
family?
finding tonight?
I thank you all
Mr.
for being
Mayor,
here today.
Mr.
I
Mayor,
appreciate
just
your concern. The only thing that I
Don't
say
avoid
is
the question.
conclusion to this.
Don't avoid the question.
Hold on a second, the lady wants to speak.
Sir, the only thing I'll say in conclusion to this
Mr.
issue,
Mayor.
because obviously anything that I say it's not gonna satisfy
Mr. Mayor.
you
You
today.
didn't answer.
But
Hold
I'll
on,
just
hold on,
repeat,
hold on.
yeah, right, I'll just repeat one last time, justice will be done, but we will not be rushed. to
Yeah,
judgment.
in favor of sudden.
I for one am going to wait for the GBI to complete its investigation.
Well, the
I
police
for one
department's
wanna know
investigation.
all the facts, I for one wanna wait and let the process
Let them
work
come up
and
with
not
their
rush to judgment. So thank you, I
I
appreciate your
respect
concern.
that.
I
What was
appreciate
to
your
make the
concern.
police
Mr.
department
Mayor.
fine? Regardless of GBI.
Let me hear from the media and see if I can
Mr.
answer some
Mayor.
other questions.
I
Mr.
just
Mayor.
had
A
concerns
citizen
about
asking you a question.
the accountability. It seems like, the exchanges between the police department and the city councilors in the public safety committee, they're asking the police department questions, and the police department seems to be evasive in not being able to answer them. Now, you as the mayor, the chief of police reports to you and it goes all the way down. You're at the top of the chain. I don't want to say this, but in the media, the police department just doesn't talk to us. They won't get back to us on certain things. They'll just blow us off sometimes. You're at the top of the chain. We want accountability, and we're asking you, can you keep people accountable for their actions?
Yes, we can. And again, we're gonna let the process work. We're going to wait for the results of the GBI investigation. I think once you have the complete results, then I think people can make decisions based on the evidence. And I think decisions will be made.
But
First of all, as I told Ms. Davis, first of all, by the district attorney. And then depending on the outcome of that decision, then by the police department and internal affairs to determine what, if any, discipline is warranted and necessary. And then thirdly, in the civil process.
But I'm just not talking about this case in general. It's not just the shooting of Sammy Davis Jr. It's been going on for a long since I've come here, way before this ever happened. Can you talk about that? I mean, it's just about information and what the police department is telling the public.
The police make an honest effort to put out information through the PI and appropriate information that is released as soon as possible. Evidence and information about ongoing investigations obviously cannot be reported to the media or to individuals.
But when we find out later,
The process needs to be protected.
when we find out later that the information they've given out is false, and they don't give us an explanation of why it was false,
Right.
there's no accountability.
And that's exactly what we want to avoid in this case. We don't want to put out information that is mistaken.
You already did. You already did. You said there was a warrant.
Which is exactly why we don't want to make a mistake like that.
But you know what?
Before you can say,
If I didn't
before
go
you
to the
can
courthouse
say,
and
before you
ask,
can say apologize, we owe the police department an apology.
No, I said respect.
Respect them. Okay, not a problem, not a problem, not a problem, sir.
Let me finish that thought. Most, the vast majority of the police officers that are working for this city are dedicated, hardworking, and respectful. They put their lives on the line every day for us.
And we
To
respect
protect
them.
them, to protect them. So don't paint everybody.
We're not.
We're
We're
not.
not.
See, that's the thing.
So you treat the
Let me
police
say something,
department
Mr.
with
Mayor.
respect. All their bad apples in the police
Let me-
department. I would be the first to say that there's an old adage about there are bad apples in every barrel, in every profession, whether it's law, whether it's medical, whether it's preachers, you're gonna find some bad apples in every barrel.
But you
Let me say
you
something,
would
let me say something.
you would have found those out if you had been looking.
Let me say something.
But Mayor, if you've been doing your job and checking out your troops and your apples, so to speak, you wouldn't have put your apples out there for
But
the
you-
consumers to
What he's trying to
ingest.
say, what he's
You
trying
didn't
to-
check some of your bad apples. You let them get on out there.
What he's trying to
And
say.
not only do we have Sutton, we've got Guidry, we've got Watts. I mean,
We had the two women.
when I look up more, when I go into more files, am I going to find more cops with 20 to 30 complaints and reprimands?
Oh, it's funny.
Let me do this.
I wanna
She
say-
had a question, I need to get back to her.
What I want to
She
say,
had a question.
what I want to say to you, Mr. Mayor, is this.
Okay,
As the gentleman there stated, the police department, not just the Macon Police Department, but the Sheriff Department, which is the law enforcement,
Yes, ma'am.
they will lie to you. I've caught them in lies. Now, what I want to say to you is this. I'm retired from the military, and there's what you call a chain of command. And here in Macon, you are that head. And you're supposed to watch your people. You're supposed to be over your people. And you're supposed to watch over those people. And you're supposed to be over your chief, your Macon Police Department. You're supposed to do that. Now, my opinion is this. We're not back in the 1960s, 1950s, where those reports are going to take forever to get back from the GBI crime lab or wherever they're coming from. And I do believe that they're back. I do believe that you guys know what's going on here. And I do believe honesty should come forth. Now, I'm just saying my opinion. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. All I'm saying, this family has a right to know what's going on. This has been over a month now. It has been over a month. They have a right to know what's going on. It don't take 6 weeks for nothing to come back from the GBI crime lab, and I know that person.
No, ma'am, you do not.
Okay, say I don't. Say I don't.
You don't.
Okay, say I don't.
You don't.
Okay, say I don't.
You don't.
We're gonna say I don't.
Okay, you don't.
Okay, say I don't.
We agree.
Okay. And I don't because it's the Macon Police Department.
No, ma'am, it's the GBI.
Okay, but
It is
it's
all
concerning.
together.
But it's concerning.
It's the pair
But
of
it's
GBI. They all
concerning
together.
the Macon Police Department.
They all the same.
But all I'm
To
saying,
me.
sir, all I'm saying is this. This family have a right to know what's going on.
They do.
They do. They have a right to know what's going on. And you know what? They have a right to know what's going on step by step.
He might not know himself. He might not know himself. Honestly.
That's all I'm saying.
He don't.
They have a right to know.
And I appreciate that, and we
Vote
will.
him out.
But as the Macon Police Department, but as mayor of this city, you do owe this city as their leader to know what's going on within this port. Now I've been back here for a year, and you kind of made me afraid to say you don't know what's going on with your people here, and don't know what's going on. Makes me afraid that some of them not going to do their job or don't care about doing their job.
Because if you don't know, who knows?
And I'm not
And
saying
the
all
police
police
department is
officers,
corrupt.
and I'm not saying all police officers are bad.
I appreciate it. Nobody's saying
You got some good ones here. You got some good bad officers. Officer Jordan, I know him a long time. Very good officer. But you, man,
Editor-in-Chief of Progressive Action Lobby. And my main issue, I'm Jarman Sample, Editor-in-Chief of Progressive Action Lobby. I just have a couple questions. After the investigation is finished and it's found that there's abuse of power issues that are going on, will you address and will you tolerate abuse of power in your city?
No, sir, I will not.
That's all I need to know.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, I appreciate you being here today. We try to be open, we try to be responsive, and we try to lead this city forward. There are a lot of things that we can do working together to make a brighter future for our community going forward, and I appreciate your presence here today. Thank you.
vote him out. Vote him
Justice
out.
for Junebug.
Justice
for Junebug.
We got the power to vote him out. We voted him in. He just didn't want in. We made a mistake and we voted for him. Let's correct our mistake. We're not wrong. Vote him out. Simple as that.
All right, so